I know I already made a video on this HD port of Returns, but I just wanted to make this video. I was doing the time trials this morning, and I honestly was getting so aggravated that I ended up recording for the sake of making this video. Now keep in mind, the loading times for this Returns HD port are around double from the Wii, the original version. When you die doing a time trial, and it sends you back to the beginning, it honestly starts the timer from when you died. Why in the world would they not change that? And again, this may seem like a ridiculous nitpick, but the loading times are around double. So if it's sending me back to the beginning, if it would start me at 0, I could kind of get away from that longer loading time. But since it starts me with the time that I died at, I have to retry anyway. I can't see any benefit of starting the time trial with time added to the timer. Why in the world would you not want to just start at 0? And I know that in the original game, it was like this too. But again, the loading times were faster. I'm a little confused as to why it was like this at all, that it doesn't just start you at 0. It makes me think that maybe there was some weird limitation with the Wii. But we're at the Switch now. Why wouldn't it just start you at 0? I checked Tropical Freeze, and if you die, it starts you at the beginning with the timer at 0. It just does a fresh restart. And the loading times are faster in Tropical Freeze. This whole thing just makes me so annoyed because I've been really enjoying my time playing Returns. And for those who have followed my channel, that probably sounds crazy because I normally rank Returns as one of the only ones that I don't really like when it comes to Donkey Kong Country, which I do plan to make a video about that. But it's super frustrating that the section of the game that I would grind and put a ton of time into, the game is like pulling me out of it and doesn't want me to do it. And then the one thing that could have been a little bit different that they could have fixed and tweaked, it would have kind of negated that extra loading time. But instead, they didn't change it at all. And again, like I said, maybe it's a hardware limitation from the Wii, because I don't get why it's like that at all. Maybe with like the checkpoint thing, because if you start from a checkpoint in Returns, it keeps the time. Maybe I could understand that, because you want to like scout the rest of the level out or something. But when you start at the beginning, why would you not want it at 0? And the fact that this was changed in Tropical Freeze, to me means that they did realize that it should change. I know that different developers worked on this Returns HD port, but come on. They couldn't have just looked at Tropical Freeze and been like, oh, we'll do it like that? Well, actually, no. I could see them not checking that, but did none of them try the time trials and go, well, that's weird. If you die, it doesn't put you at 0. And again, I know this might seem like a really minor complaint, but with the loading times being longer in Returns HD, it just gets frustrating. If you do get this game and you want to do the time trials, I recommend just putting something on in the background while you do them. That's what I did, and it kind of helped alleviate the loading times. But man, of course, the one part of the game where like you'd want to grind and do again and again and again, there was one thing they could have just tweaked, and it would have made it so much better. If you don't care about the time trials, though, I still don't think this game should be 60 for what you're getting, for it being a port, but I have been enjoying my time with it. Although I did almost forget to mention, I wanted to throw this in here, there are some frame drops, and this happened to me while I was playing, and I recorded it within the Switch's own recording system. So sorry about the quality, because it's not at 60 FPS, but you can literally see that the frame skip caused me to miss my jump. I was watching the screen scrolling, and I was timing accordingly, and then it literally just stopped. Like, it skipped a frame. I don't know how many frames, but you can tell it literally messed me up. I remember when it happened, I went straight to holding that record button because I couldn't believe it. It legit messed me up. Thankfully, that's never happened to me on a time trial, and I hope it never does, because if it does, and I'm on a good run, and frames start skipping, and I miss a jump, after nailing everything before in the level, and I'm like right at the end or in the middle or something, I'm going to be pissed. I really do hope this game gets an update because it's fun, it's good, but these minor little things, they just stink. They stink, they stink, they stink!